Hi, Spirited Seekers. Welcome to this week's Oracle Guidance. I just got sent all of my decks back down from my parents' house, so we're not working with the Starseed Oracle this week. We're going to change it up, and I think I'm going to stick with the Archetypes deck for at least the next month, because the archetypes feel like a big invitation for us to explore in our humanness, right? In the physical, in the tangible. So for those of you just joining in, this is your week's Oracle Guidance, working with the Archetype deck this week by Kim Kranz. Her work is absolutely stunning. It's a little bit darker, a little bit more mysterious. You know, I like that shit. So as we're just tuning in, I would love for you to pop in the comment box below where you're watching from, and 3 emojis that describe your day today, your state of being. Where you're in from, and 3 emojis describing how you're feeling and what's real and current for you right now. And while you're doing that, I'll show you my reality, which I'm pretty stoked about. This is Totem, and he has been glued to me ever since my friend brought him here. He is a very special creature. So we have some dog medicine joining us today. Okay. So while you guys tell me how you are in the comments box below, thanks Selena, welcome from Perth. Ooh, I like the ear. Does that mean listening? That's beautiful. I actually have already picked a card for us because I received my photos back from a photo shoot, as I do a little bit of a teensy tiny rebirth rebrand for Spirited Seeker and myself, detaching from my other business. And so I pulled a card for this ceremonial emergence, and it feels so resonant. It's been out on my altar for days because I knew that it needed to work with me for a few days, and now it's aligning with you guys. So I hope that this message gives you what you need today. And I'm curious for you, what is it that you come here looking for? What is it that you're wondering about? What is it that you need most right now? And I'll do my best to open the channel wide enough for you to receive exactly that. So this week, as we move toward the full moon on the 2nd of September, there is a cracking open, an illuminating sense of all of the stuff that is going on, right? It's pretty in our face. Information overload, Facebook frenzy, fights online, a big separation. Sahara Rose called it the Great Split. And another one of my mentors calls it conquer and divide, right? That's kind of what we're seeing and what we're experiencing at the moment on the collective level. And so this card is the Mystic. And I'll just give you a little moment to take the artwork in first for you, without judging, without going into narrative around it, just receiving the image for yourself. But the Mystic really invites us to hold the archetype of the visionary, right? For many of us, we're just focused on the day by day because of the restrictions we're living in, especially those of you in Victoria and Melbourne right now, my hometown, or where I grew up. But wherever you are in the world, you might usually be traveling. You might usually have a sense of more freedom, right? And with all of these rules and restrictions that are conquering us, dividing us, separating us, splitting us apart, there is a tendency to just completely surrender, because that's what we've been practicing. But the Mystic now is asking us to activate part of our inner masculine that has not been worked for a while, right? We've been going through these last few months as a chrysalis, a cosmic void of what the fuckness. And while I'm no longer denying that we're going to be in that for a while, the Mystic begs us to hold a vision of where we're going, to create some security and stability for ourselves, because we can't rely on the outside world to do that for us anymore. We never really could, but we placed our power out there a lot of the time, in the job, in the family dynamic, in the everyday security that was going to work on time, that was living a life that we designed completely operating from the old way. And that's dying. It's dead for a lot of us. So where are we going to source our security from then? The mystic isn't about retreating from the conversations that are necessary to have right now. The mystic also isn't about floating up into space. It's about being the paradoxical holder of light and dark, yin and yang, of darkness and light. Right? And I know that that's what so many of you, I know so many of you personally, or you've been my clients, or you've been in my courses, and I know that there is light workers here that are having a hard time being on this planet. And this is just a confirmation from the mystic that, one, you signed up for this shit. Because there is, equipment in your DNA that needs to be here at this time. And the activation of the seer in you, the visionary in you, to connect to where we're going is what will most create calm, consistent safety at this time. Because if you're always looking outward and relying upon the external environment to give you that sense of safety that you want, you will be so shakeable. You'll be like blowing around in the wind, right? It'll just have to be a good day. It'll have to be that everything works out perfectly for you to feel the way that you want to feel. So I'm going to read to you a little snippet from the Oracle book because it's just too powerful not to share. The mystic is the seeker, the light worker, the dreamer, aka you watching this right now. The mystic is often misunderstood in our culture, depicted as a wandering or light-hearted daydreamer. Yet, like Shiva, the true mystic plays a critical role in society, remaining fearlessly dedicated to the path of transformation. In order to save the earth from darkness, Shiva swallows the poison of the world and holds it in his throat, slowly transmuting the liquid into nectar. This is the work of the mystic. They do not fear darkness, but rather sit in the presence of it, harness the potential and latent energy behind it, and embed it with light. They are patient change makers, seeking growth above all else. The mystic revels in mystery, in the great riddle of life, dancing with the forces of light and dark upon its wings. So when we're in alignment with this archetype, we have no problem sitting with the darkness, with the uncertainty, with the what the fuckness. We get really good at becoming unshakable and clear and connected despite how the world looks. For those of you that have been following me a little while, you would have known that the initial stages of COVID, around March and April, I was feeling exactly that. I was just like, I was born for this shit. I was made for these times. And then somewhere along the way, we kind of go into the cosmic void, the depth, the death, and we have to surrender and let go of everything that we once knew and emerge into a new way of being. And it's really confronting, right? It's like you're building your life and yourself back from the ground up. So the mystic this week, as we work with this archetype, asks us to activate the vision. This might be a reclamation of goal setting, of intention setting, of list writing, of harnessing that Virgo energy, which is like the get shit done, bringing in the masculine, the critical thinking, and instead of always being in the soft and wild feminine, calling in some of those things that bring structure and stability to your everyday. Oof, that's so where I'm at right now, and I hope that that feels deeply supportive to you. Yeah. How is that landing with everybody while I give you another look at this beautiful dog? He's snoring away. What medicine that is. He's just chilling. So what is it that you're going to commit to this week to restore integrity with the mystic in you? With the one that is here bringing the new age of lights, leading the way, paving the new paradigm. And what is it that part of you really needs in order to feel safe and supported, stable and secure on this journey? Because without that, we are just kind of getting tossed around in the waves, right? And there is a time for that. We've moved through a bit of that phase already. And now it's really time to anchor in and create containers for ourselves to feel even more okay with lingering in the chaos a little longer. Because many of us are kind of just waiting for this to be all over in order to feel that the way we want to feel. But the mystic asks us to cultivate the vision so that we know, no matter how long this all goes for, this death of an old way and this contraction and constriction of the process, as we sit with the darkness and we swallow it whole, how can we allow that to turn to sweet honey, to juice the nectar of it, while also still feeling really safe, really secure? Thank you. So good. Thanks, Em. Thanks, Megan. For me, that one thing that I'm promising to do for myself this week is committing to tech boundaries, my airplane mode on from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. I know that supports my system to really relax and wind down and then come out in the morning connected to the vision rather than by reality. Number 2 is the discipline of moving my body every day in a way that feels strong, to stoke the fire of the masculine in me, to feel like I'm holding me. And number 3, just because I love the number 3 and I'm on a roll, I'm also going to be restructuring some systems and streamlining them in my business to make bringing income in feel effortless, to make the user experience of you guys in interaction with me feel even more easy. Those are the things that I'm bringing to life this week as the mystic that operates in the 3D, holding the vision for where we're going. Love that. Thank you, beautiful humans, for tuning in. It's such a pleasure every week to do this and to feel the different energies floating around. Next week, happy Sunday or Monday, depending on where you are, and this will be uploaded onto YouTube really soon and on my IGTV if you missed it and you're just tuning in now. So have an amazing rest of your day.